Welcome back to another Bassmaster Open Pros Pick'em. We're minus one picker today. Ish Monroe was not able to make it. You know, the quick turnaround from events. Harris chained to St. John's River. He's fishing an event this week, so he's unable to make it. But hey, before we jump into everything, I do have to bring up one thing. This weekend, Saturday, I'm going to be in Gadsden, Alabama. That's right, Gadsden, Alabama, at the Academy Sports and Outdoors at noon for the Let's Fish TV Academy Tour. We're going to be giving away free Strike King fishing line. We're going to have a fishing seminar. You need to make a chance. If you get a chance, you need to make your way over to that Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have all the information on my Facebook and Instagram page, so make sure y'all go check that out. If you are in that area or know somebody that is, head on over to that Academy Sports and Outdoors in Gadsden. I'd love to see y'all and talk fishing. But let's get into last week's event. John Garrett won the event. Not surprised whatsoever. The dude is absolutely a hammer. We saw it last year in the Bassmaster Opens. Huge congrats to John. As a very, very natural fisherman, comes from the TVA systems, understands shell beds, maybe is good or better than anyone. And that's exactly what he was fishing. Hey, and you know what's funny, Todd? Matt actually picked John Garrett in his bucket. So you should have a fantastic week.
God, I forgot he did pick him, dude. Man, yeah. Hey, dude, that is why, man, I kind of don't like my title, but that, like, sometimes people should listen to Matt. Matt should be, what is he wrong with him? Yeah. I can't believe he's not gloating right now.
Are you number one right now?
Listen, yeah. I had a decent showing. I
you should have. You picked John Garrett.
It's top 98% overall, but
you're 100 now.
I woke up in a cold sweat the night before the cutoff at 11 p.m. and I said, I'm in it. I'm tired of Todd winning this thing, and I made a last minute change and I put Chris Zaldain on instead of John Garrett, which was the difference between a wire to wire win and a 45-point big bag and all sorts of stuff. Instead, I went with 53rd place finisher Chris Zaldain. So I did get some comments, some messages for like, hey, thanks for helping me out. I put John Garrett on. It was a great pick. I ended up hurting myself in it, but I did have JT Tompkins, which I thought was a solid pick. I did have Brandon Lester, which I thought was a solid pick.
I had Brandon Lester.
Well, we both had Brandon Lester. Where are you overall then, Todd?
Huh?
We went over like where you find on the top, like where your standing is after.
I will say this, that I was doing phenomenal until about day 3 or day 2, whenever all of our picks started doing horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that Harris chain group of picks was really, really hard in my opinion.
We all said it was gonna be.
Yeah, it just the tournament shaped out weird. I mean, not surprising. John Cox still went out and caught a 9-pounder on the third day.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy stuff.
I got to be honest. It got the best of me. Like I was supposed to do something all year long, and I went away from it. And it's cost me, so I'm going back to it. No matter. I don't care if I finish last place. I won't. But I'm.
Where are you in now? You've got to be in last place right now.
Oh no.
You're looking at it and you're just refusing to say it right now. You've got signs in the background. You're taking a shot at me and your title, and now you're refusing to say where you are. We don't even have you're not even part of a group that people can check.
It feels
like what? Just tell us. I thought that was the rules.
Last place because I'm not in first. Everyone's so used to me being in first. It just feels like I'm in last place. It's just because I'm not in first right now. But dude, it's very early, and it's gonna all go.
We're almost to the midway point of the season.
Matt, you're gonna have a few bad, terrible picks from just completely imploding. I'm just waiting for the implosion.
I'm 788th overall in the world. That includes Eurasia, Africa, South America, the United States. That includes every continent.
I didn't even know anybody played there.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think it may be just Asia now.
Don't worry. It's all going to come out. Get ready, because I've got the best stat of all time about to come up, so we'll just let Matt go off. But get ready.
Well, it's funny. I've got a guy that follows me on Instagram. He messaged. We talk all the time, and he actually asked me if we'd filmed our show yet. And this is his stat. I don't know if you can see that. It says second place
No, I got a guy.
I bet he picked John Garrett.
No, I
Bet
got
he
a
did.
guy. I got a guy in first.
Do you really?
Yeah. Hold on, let me find.
My guys, he had Trey McKinney, John Garrett, Lester Cox, and Will Davis Jr. It's a pretty solid group there.
Oh,
Yes,
is it Mike B?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I had him when he was in first place.
Oh, really? See, he messaged me and he was in second.
He
So
must have fought. Yeah, he was in first.
he's
So
a
he
big
was
time
like-
listener. So see, guys, if you just dissect everything we say, eventually you're going to come out on top, just like Mike did.
Think about that. Think about that. He's like 700 times better than you, Matt.
Yeah.
No,
At
he's having
least.
a phenomenal year. But like a wise man just said, it's early.
It is early. We're waiting for the Matt implosion. I'm waiting for him to start picking Christie again like he did last year and see what happens.
Christie did good in this last one.
He did.
I'm ready.
So let's go ahead and jump on into St. John's River. You know, we're definitely in the post-spawn time period. I've heard a lot of different changes over at the St. John's. It's going to be a very interesting tournament. So, Matt, how about you lead us off in Group A? Who you got?
So this is an interesting tournament because with the weather cancellation on day one, there's only 2 days of practice, really a day and a half of practice on the St. John's. And I've talked to a couple of guys about this, and that is a massive fishery where you can no longer just go down to Lake George and power pull down in the eelgrass and pluck them off of the beds because of where it is in April. So I went a little bit different. I'm actually relying heavily on history here, even though the fishery is fishing different than it has in the past with grass. So I'm going on guys who know where they need to be and have had success in the past. Patrick Walters has fished there 3 times. He's in the top 10 of the Angler of the Year currently. Top 20 in the Angler of the Year currently, and his finishes on the St. John's in 19, 21, and 22 are 2 4th-place finishes and a 7th-place finish. He's comfortable with the grass. He's comfortable with the jerkbait. He's comfortable with live scoping. So Patrick Walters, to me, is a no-brainer in Group A.
I like it. What do you got, Todd? Give me some stats on as to why you're picking who you're picking too.
Who, me?
Yes.
Basically, I go against everything Matt says.
And that's why you refuse to say where you are in fantasy.
And everything. Right, no. That's because I have been. I veered away from what I was supposed to do. Okay. So they had a little bitty. Ronnie Moore had some stats up the other day, and he brought up the rookie class, and he brought up how many top 10s of rookie class has already been in this year, and all these things, and all that rookie class. You know what the rookie class says? 0 history. All that good little stuff you just talked about doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Just get out there and live scope. I don't need to know where the eelgrass is. I don't need to know where any of that junk is. All that stuff is irrelevant to most live scopers. Live scopers just get out there and start wandering around and pick off fish. I'm not even hating on that. I'm just telling you like it is. That's what they were doing. The same guys keep making the cuts, and it's the same. If the only thing that makes me mad is that there aren't rookies in all these buckets. Because if there were, I'd be putting like that's what sucks. Because if it's between Trey McKinney, Tompkins, Tyler Williams, all them other guys, I don't care about their freaking classic wins and all these things. I'm just picking the new guys at freaking live scope. So it's between one of those 3. I'm just going to pick JT Tompkins. Why not? I don't think I can go wrong with them. They're just going to go live scope around and pick them off. Don't care where they go. There's bass all over that place.
I like
just everywhere. Don't worry about the tide. Don't worry about the fact that it's 130 miles. Don't worry about the fact that just to check areas that have been productive in the past, you have to idle for 45 minutes so you don't mow down a manatee. Don't worry about any of that stuff.
Don't worry about
just get out in the river, just drift down the river and chuck a minnow and a jerkbait, and you're guaranteed a top. I like it, Todd. Just keep going with that.
Don't worry about
that pattern.
Hey,
don't worry about the long runs. Don't worry about the current. Don't worry about the tide. Screw it. Just take off and. Now, why do you even need a big motor? Why don't they just have a trolling motor out there? Just stop right by the ramp. Think about it. You're making more money per cast because you don't have to burn any gas.
Hey, do you know Okeechobee real well?
Clearly not.
You don't know? Do you know what are all the famous places on Okeechobee?
Well, I mean, they've totally changed over
The
the
Monkey
past
Box, North
yeah.
Shore, South, blah blah blah. I've never heard of
Cochran's.
the Canal being the freaking hot spot to go win an elite. Dude, live in the past. That's where
I'm
you're
pretty
staying.
sure
Matt.
it was one out of the
Matt
biggest
stats are
community
whack.
hole with the heaviest weight that's ever won a 3-day open.
Matt's stats are whack. Live scope only.
Well, this has been a really fun Group A.
Oh, it's only going to get worse after this.
He's bad mouthing me for picking a guy who's 3 for 3 with a 7th and 2/4.
I picked Patrick last time. I just don't care about your stats, is all I'm saying. I like your pick. Patrick's live scoper. It's a great pick.
I went Patrick Walters as well. To Matt's point, I think not necessarily looking back at the past. It's more so of only having a day and a half of practice. I think that will help in some situations, but somebody's going to figure them out the first day of the tournament and smoke on them the rest of the tournament. So, Group B, I'll go ahead and lead us off. I went. No, actually, I won't lead us off. I want to hear Todd's pick here because I already think I know who it is, but I just got to hear it first.
Yeah, easy. Rookie live scoper. Who would it be? Pick him.
Milliken, I'm assuming.
Ben?
Huh?
Ben?
Yeah. Rookie live scoper. If they had all, I'm just gonna pick every one of them every time.
Never been there before.
What about you, Matt? Who you got?
I'm going with the guy who finished 6th there last year and is fresh off of a top 20 in Florida this past week. Consistently gotten better each of the 3 tournaments leading up to this one. Also likes grass and knows how to live scope. That's Austin Felix.
That's a good one. I like it. I went Brandon Lester because he has a very good track record, not only in Florida, but also the St. Johns River. I do believe that he will. He's scrappy, man. Like I've seen him when everybody's fishing shallow, go deep. I've seen him get on shell bars. I've seen him go sight fish and just really mix it up. And when you start talking post spawn, a lot of times you are mixing it up and having to pick up a bunch of different baits.
How many days is this event?
4.
4? Cool. You know who doesn't run out of fish?
Austin Felix.
Live scopers.
It's a 4-day event for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Live scopers. They don't run out of fish.
All right. Let's go Group C.
Andrew doesn't even listen to it anymore. He's tired. He's over.
No, I'm so tired of it. It's just driving me crazy. Group C. I'm going to lead us off. This is an easy one for me. I'm going John Cox. I don't care if he's at 50%. He caught a 9-pounder on the 3rd day at the Harris chain. Second biggest fish of the event, behind Prosnick's 10-pounder. But if anybody can go scrap around up shallow, it is going to be that guy. What about you, Matt? Who you got?
I wasn't going to go, but Todd's got me fired up, so I'm going to go with the only guy without live scope in the entire field, and I am going to pick John Cox as well, but just purely out of spite.
I'm going with the best live scoper. Anyone that can see the fish better than anyone else. I'm going with the best live scoper in that group. So
who's that?
Going with Soka?
No, the guy who can see him better than anyone else. Guys that look at fish better than anyone else. I'm going with the best guy who can see him.
Oh, he's going Cox.
Oh, so you're going with Cox now because you're saying he's going to visually see him.
Well, that's what they say on social media is that live.
Then why does it say live scope picks only, not?
Well, I mean, that's what they say. Listen, I just go by the stupid comments on social media, and apparently live scope's just like spotlighting, and it's just like sight fishing. So, I mean, if we're all going to put them all together, I guess we can do that. So, John Cox, best guy that looks at him anyways, picking him.
All right, Group D. Matt, who you got?
This one was a really tough one, and there's one guy that over the last 3 years of the Open Pros Pick'em has probably been picked more than anybody. Todd's going to like this pick because the guy has 7 units on his boat. I know the grass is a little bit different here, but Schmidt's going to be comfortable down there. I'm going Brian Schmidt. This was a really tough group for me.
Yeah, I was going to go Schmidt, and I like Schmidt. Schmidt has just changed his game so much to try to adjust to the live scope era. I think if he was going to do what he usually does, I think he would honestly probably.
Oh, we're back to this here in a second. His
God.
mom's gonna come down and give him some
Hey,
meatloaf.
Where's the roast beef?
Where's the meatloaf? Mom, I'm live.
I swear the internet in East Texas has gotten worse. I didn't know that was possible, but it's getting worse.
Can we also clarify just for last week to give you a little credit? Like, you don't live in your mom's basement. Like, she happens to live like next door.
Yeah, she's about 100 yards away, but
Yeah.
you know, it is whatever.
I just saw some comments that were like, dude, you're literally no, she had come over to your house, which you have with your family. You just happen to have relatives close by. Just to
maybe.
I might live in her basement though. This might be her basement right here.
I'm telling you, everyone's always thought Andrew's trolling me on my stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Brandon Polnick. I really think that if it is what I think it's gonna be, which I think it's gonna be another shell bed game, just like it was at the last event, I do think he will adjust and figure it out. I just think so. What you got, Todd?
I had Polnick, and then I changed it to a guy that I know, it does do some live scoping. That's David Mullins.
Okay, and he could round out on the shell bed game too. Honestly,
I think he's going to catch him another way, but yeah,
really. I like the Polnick pick. I might switch to Polnick because his 3 finishes, which I researched, he has 3 top 20s the last 3 times I've been there.
Yeah,
I got to catch up. I literally had Polnick and then changed him to Mullins.
I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, to be honest.
I'm changing to Polnick, and I'm not changing it then. I'm sticking with it.
All right, Group E. I'll lead us off. I actually think there's some pretty heavy hitters in this group. I mean, you got Bernie Schultz, you got Prince, you got Scott Martin, you got a bunch of the locals here, and you got a couple good live scopers, but I'm going Cliff Prince just for the sake of they're going to have limited practice, and he probably knows and has forgotten more about it. Actually, I think limited practice is better for him anyway because it's going to keep him from going and doing a bunch of dumb stuff. He's just going to go where they live and probably find them and catch them and do pretty good. Now, I will say this. I want to say it was one of the last times that they went there. I picked Cliff Prince, and I think he finished in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very possible that he has a tank event. But in this situation, I just have to believe that post-spawn, they're going to be on a couple different shell beds, and he's going to know some places that nobody else knows, and he's going to catch them. How about you, Todd?
Man, that's a pretty good argument. I don't have him though. I think, come back to me. I had Scott Martin too. I want to go off the rails a little bit. So let me find someone else.
Who you got, Matt?
I'm going to go back to them.
You can't Todd can't just skip. He's got to give his.
Yes, I can. Well, do whatever I want to.
The deal is, Matt, he's going to give a pick, and then he's just going to change it anyway. So
I don't ever change my picks.
I'll play the reverse Uno card. Just come back to me, Andrew.
I don't ever.
You have to actually have the reverse
I got it.
Uno card.
I don't really see anyone else that really like those. I do believe it's between Scott. If you really want to do good, I believe it's between Scott and Cliff.
See, I think it's between Scott, Cliff. I think Buddy Gross is a huge pick.
You're not going with Cifuentes? Your live scope only?
Cifuentes is in there. He's big time live scoper.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't set up the way he live scopes.
I think Swindle has to right the ship eventually.
Yeah.
Do what?
Swindle has to right the ship eventually, and I mean,
I picked.
I don't know if he does it here.
I picked Swindle last. Swindle used to be my. If he was in a pick and I had no idea, I could always pick Swindle for like he was going to give me phenomenal points, and I think Swindle. But I'm just telling you, man. I don't look at things. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. Scott Martin's the best live scoper in that group other than Fuentes. So I'm picking Scott Martin.
Okay. Who do you got, Matt?
I'm going Cliff Prince. I'm going with guys that aren't afraid for a day and a half of practice. I just had Walters on. He talked about how you're going to get a couple decisions during practice and you're going to have to land on them. So that's why I've gone with Walters, Cox, and Prince, 3 guys who I think benefit from the shortened practice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
I'll take the L if I mean, I know it's a little bit risky, but it's also April and there's very few guys who have fished April. He's fished club tournaments. He's fished local stuff, regional stuff. He's fished a lot of these events when his advantage is neutralized because of the prevalence of spawning fish. And that's not going to happen right now. He's actually going to get to fish the St. Johns River with an advantage.
I mean, I actually think might be one of the times that you see the actual river itself and not just the little lakes come into play. I follow like Scroggins on there on like social and stuff, and I've seen him over the years, and he'll be like in the river cranking some like bars and shell beds out there in the like where the current actually rolls. And actually, to your point, that might be a good Schmitty pick anyway, just because of his understanding of tides. And I do think the tides could play here like significantly. So, all right, so let's go weights. You know, I actually want to say that I originally had the right weight at the Harris chain with a higher weight than was going to be expected, and then I changed it like an idiot. But it took more than what people really thought.
How come y'all keep changing? Y'all keep admitting, y'all blame I change stuff, and y'all are the ones that keep admitting y'all change stuff.
I changed it on the show, though. That's the difference.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Matt wakes up in a cold sweat.
It's important stuff, evidently.
Yeah.
So, Matt, what do you got weight-wise?
I have no idea, so I'm just going lucky number 7, and I'm going 77.7.
I like that.
I don't know.
No, that's my favorite pick you've ever done in your entire life. Is that right there? You finally just went with your gut of gut.
What did you pick?
77.7. 3.7.
I mean, that's pretty cool, actually.
He jackpotted it.
Yeah. He's been gambling way too much lately.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. What about you, Todd? What you got?
I have no clue either. I just went 73.3.
I went 87.12. Probably overshot that slightly, but you know, the point, actually, I think it was Matt said the other day, you just take what you think it's going to take and then just add 10 pounds to it, and then you're right where you need to be.
Why would you add 10 pounds to it?
Because of forward-facing sonar.
I was fairly close last week. I was within like 4 or 5 pounds.
If that's the point, pick them.
Listen, Palatka, Florida's weather is going to be ideal for whatever you want to do here. You're talking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Stable weather, highs in the upper 80s, sunny all 4 days, and wind less than 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I want to see who's the first to wear those little umbrellas over their head like that.
Milliken.
So it'll put a shadow on their unit so they can see it better.
I could see Milliken do it, but not for that reason.
They get the NFL. You know how when they go and look at the cameras for an instant replay and they pull that thing up over their head. I'm just going to wait for some guy to pull this big old thing right up over their head from their unit over him, and they just stare at that. They don't even see where they're casting anymore. It's gonna be great. And I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win my. I only won it so I can win my fantasy league. Is he? I didn't know. Crazy. I didn't know if Andrew was like he was just sitting there like he was.
Andrew doesn't know what to do with this show.
Yeah.
No, not anymore. So, what is the winning bait this week?
Hey,
I think that
Matt. Hold on, Matt. Matt. Hey, you suck. By the way, I'm just letting you know that Ish was here. Okay. That way.
Thank you. I feel much more comfortable now.
Okay, that was it.
Relax.
That's all he really wanted to do.
The whole show without being ridiculed.
Yeah.
No, actually, all of you missed it because before we actually hit record on this show, Matt and Todd got into a heater about all kinds of fun stuff.
It wasn't
We
about
can't
all
even
kinds of
air
stuff.
here.
It was about how Todd was saying that an open is tougher to win than the Bassmaster Classic, which is just absolutely absurd. A obvious clickbait. I bit it hook, line, and sinker. He live scoped me in open water, and I got on the jerk bait and was chasing it all the way back to the boat.
Hey, the minute you think it's easier to beat 50 people as opposed to 230 people, whatever. Just saying.
Actually, I didn't even throw my 2 cents on that, but
Yeah.
I do think it's harder to win an open than it is to win the classic.
You guys are both on crack.
Dude,
No, not really.
I'll take a small field all day long over
Every
a
time.
giant field. All day.
Every time.
I'd rather take a big field that I can actually get into over a small field that only like 400 people have ever fished it. And we're talking, Andrew, that's shocking. You've actually crossed the classic stage.
I'm telling you, it's easier to win a tournament when you're only fishing against 50 people than it is when you're fishing against 200.
And I don't care who those 50 people
Doesn't
are.
matter.
Yeah. Well, that's why you fished 50 opens that you've had a chance to win, but you've only fished one classic that you've had a chance to win.
That's because and think about it, it's so much harder to win that open. It doesn't
You're
matter
looking at
how
it
many
from
you
like
fish.
you're looking at it from a lens like this tiny.
I'm
of,
not
like,
looking at it
this
from a
much
lens. I'm
being
looking
there.
at it from the lens of reality.
Whatever. We didn't say what's more important. We said what's harder.
It's harder because you can't just sign up for the classic.
How many guys have won back-to-back opens?
I mean,
Randall.
How many guys have won back-to-back opens?
I think Tharp was the only one.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go back.
How many
and
guys
look,
have won back-to-back classics?
3.
Oh, okay. Point for Todd. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's not a point for you.
More people.
There literally is no point that you can make there, Todd.
How about this? You have 9 chances a year to go back-to-back in the opens. You have once every 2 years to go back-to-back.
You can't. No, you don't. You have a chance to go back-to-back in the opens. Andrew has a chance to go back-to-back in the opens. I have a chance to go back-to-back. Anybody watching this has a chance to go back-to-back in the opens.
That's
my point. No one's done it, but yet in back-to-back years, 3 people have won classics back-to-back years, but yet no one can do it.
You have a 0% chance.
You have 9 times more chances.
I have a 0% chance. There's a percentage chance in the open.
You might have a 0%. But 9 times.
You have a 0% chance. You're not even in the damn classic.
Doesn't matter. It would still be easier.
It does matter because then that makes it difficult. Because to make it is what makes it difficult. There's only 50 guys in it because you've got 5,000 guys that are trying to just get to the point where you can qualify for
I have a
the
0% chance in the opens right now because I'm not fishing any. My point is you have a 9 times more chances to win back-to-back opens, yet no one can do it, but yet 3 guys can do it.
It's a dumb point.
I know it might.
You can't even argue with how wrong it is.
You don't understand how that works. Like
I am painfully aware of understating how that
I don't
works.
know if you know what 9 times more means. That means you got more of a chance, but yet no one can do it. Who won y'all's last open? Who won y'all's last open?
Let's get back on track real quick.
Who won y'all's last open? I forgot.
I don't remember.
I don't even remember where it was.
At Santee Cooper.
Santee.
Who won?
Yeah.
Kyle Austin.
Kyle, prove me wrong. I'm rooting for you, but Kyle will be like, golly, I don't know how I could do this. Yeah, there's a reason.
You have to be trolling with that take. There's no way you're not trolling with that take.
Watch Kyle this next open, and I guarantee you Kyle will be like, I wouldn't even know what to think about trying how to win a second one in a row.
You know what he had to do, though? He had to win an open to even have a chance. You're talking about how tough it is to win an open?
How tough it is to win an open?
In order to have a chance to win at Fort Worth next year, he had to win that open, which makes it even more difficult.
We're not talking about qualifying.
You can't win
on the difficulty of getting there.
You can't win unless you're in it.
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously.
Yeah, which makes it more difficult because it's so hard to get in.
I agree with you to qualify.
That's why there's only 54 guys in it.
To qualify.
Yes.
Not to win one. Once you're there, it doesn't matter. Go on. I'm tired of winning this argument. We go on to something else I can win.
You're gonna lose this argument so hard in the comments.
I don't think he will, actually.
Todd, you're going to call Andrew in about 48 hours and you're going to say, Andrew, please turn the comments off for that video. It is damaging my reputation.
No one in their right mind wants to fish against 3 times as many people or 4 times as many people, almost 5.
The only reason I'm doing it is
would
so
think that that's easier. No one. And if they do comment, it's because they haven't fished against 250, 300 people. It's so much harder
right now. Vibrating. I'm twitching.
That's why guys can go win club tournaments against 30 guys. It's easier.
I've broken the top off. I've got ink all over my hands.
So what is the winning bait this week?
What? I don't even know. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care. Whatever Matt says.
Cool. I like it.
Oh,
who's the favorite to win?
Ooh, what's Matt going to say? A drop shot?
Is that Ish talking?
Statistically the most winning bait over the past 2 years. But hey, let's not talk about statistics on this show. Heaven forbid we bring some rational and reason into our selection.
I pick a drop shot. That's mine. On the old spinning pole.
Well, nobody, I bet, picked a hair jig at the Harris chain.
Hell, I'll just go Carolina rig. Why not?
Well, that catches big ones at least.
Oh, goodness. So who's the favorite to win? Who do we got winning this event?
Oh, my gosh. I have to go back through there and look. I'm going to go John Garrett for back-to-back wins because he's only got to fish against 100 guys as opposed to fishing against 200. So John Garrett's my pick.
Okay. Who do you got, Matt?
I'm going to go with Patrick Walters.
Dang it. That's who I was going to go with. Well, because I'm not going to, for the idea of simplicity, I'll try not to do the exact same thing. I think John Cox pulls it out. Why not? He's going to figure it out. I don't know how, but he's going to figure it out.
I like that pick.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm not going to lie. I haven't laughed that hard in quite some time. Thank you for the comic relief on this beautiful Tuesday.
You found it amusing.
I found it fantastically amusing. And to the point where I will probably clip part of that out and throw it on social media and get like 5,000 views on it just because that's what fishing gets you these days. But
I got your back, Ish.
Got your back, Ish. We are missing Ish today. I can only imagine what he would have said in that conversation. I'm curious to see actually what he says.
I am kind of curious. Man, I'm so proud of Ish. I asked him some questions the other day. I asked you, Andrew. You got him horribly wrong. Ish freaking knocked him out of the park. That's for another time.
That is for another time. But hey, guys, go check out Matt Pangrac on Bass Talk Live and Todd Castledine on his YouTube channel, Todd Castledine Fishing. Guys, I appreciate y'all being on. Y'all are fantastic. And today was maybe my favorite show I've ever had on here by far. Like, we couldn't even get anything done because of the rant. So that is fantastic. So we will see y'all again on the next one.